Welcome to another Articulate Outburst podcast. We've finished the album UNSAFE SPACES. That's now on Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon Music and all major platforms. Please listen to it, download it, share it, do what you want. I think it's a great concept album for the here and now. I've had quite a lot of emails in. The constant kind of theme I'm getting is that we'll do a couple of these videos post-album. The emails I've been pretty much getting has been a little bit more about how the band were constructed, how we all got together. Obviously we're using pseudonyms, but that's going to last about 5 minutes. I think everybody knows who we are, but it is what it is. People have asked me to come up with what we would have been had we not been this band, and I think I mentioned in a previous stream that we were going to be the kind of joke punk band from the pub singing about people we knew, wind-ups and stuff like that, and I've kind of wanted to expand on that, but then I realised I've got an entire folder of offcuts, things that have gone somewhere, things that haven't, and I thought what a great idea that would be to unscripted pick them out. I know what's in here from when I put it in, but I've not seen this file for over a year, so we'll see what comes out almost on a mystery machine basis when I'll pull one out and see where it takes us. If it's in this file, it must have been saved for a reason. And let's have a look what that reason is. So obviously, as my missus refers to it, the ramblings of an old man. So let's go through some of those ramblings of an old man. I think this will be a little bit nonsensical, but then, there'll be a bit of humour in there, I'm sure of it. So I don't know why I've got a target on the back of one, so let's see what this one says. Anti-establishment political. And then it says, us as the band. So obviously I'm looking at some kind of structure there. And then we've got quite a bit crossed out. We've got civil liberties crossed out. Liberty is off the table. Well, that maybe change to religions off the table. Is there anybody out there? The overarching song on the first album. Private corporations doing the government's bidding. Well, I think that's NGOs. I think that's probably more to do with the second album than the first. A new song, just one more camera, that's all I need. So actually the last song on the album, there's actual mention to it here, which is interesting. And I've put a line there that's been crossed out in that the police are all misguided and no longer hold my fears. I think we changed that to the police are cowardly bastards and no longer hold my fears. That's from anybody out there. So just on that one piece of paper we can see quite a lot of creativity. An unusual beast in nature, they have no predator. Well, I think that's a Douglas Murray quote from what he said about university lecturers. So even though there doesn't look like there's a lot going on this humble piece of paper, there are quite a few strands to the album in there. This was a song I was thinking about writing called, well, obviously, Racist is racist without the I. And I think pretty much what I found in recent years is the word racist seems to be the one insult that nobody can ever come back from. I think I'd kind of looked at ways in which that you could put that in a song, because I think that, especially for famous people, if that word is termed, you're cancelled, you're off YouTube, you're off Twitter, you're off just about every platform known to man. So I kind of wanted to put a song about it, which is why I called it Racist. And there are several debates I've had with several people on this subject online, as you do. And the first point I would make is if you look at the old footage of Nazi Germany, the real ones, is if you call everybody a racist, or a racist as I prefer to call it, then how does anybody know when the real ones start goose-stepping down the mall? It's become an overused term of abuse, almost like it does win every argument because people run for cover, but ultimately it's becoming so overused that it's ceasing to have an impact. And my worry with that is it'll leave a vacuum for those with nefarious thoughts and the real ones to hoik into view. So that was the idea behind that song, which I could never get it off the bat. And obviously also on this piece of paper, we've also got other concepts, which became another song on the second album called Medicine. So there's black pills, red pills, blue pills. So within all that, again, there's a lot more, as the missus says, ramblings of an old man. Let's have a look at this. Narcissist. So narcissist, there we go. This is another one that never got off the ground. This was about somebody we all know and love in the boozer. Well, it's an exaggerated version of somebody that we all know and love. And looking at the words, it's not so bad. I love me, who do you love? I blame you, who do you blame? Nothing exists before me, you only exist within my flame. I don't really do love songs, though. We don't really do that kind of thing. And even a parody of it sounded pretty poor. It's written. If anybody else wants to have a pop at it, email me. I'll give you the lyrics. You can have a pop you can have a go if you want. It's me, 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 and me. It's never you, no matter what you do. Childish in fairness, a bit naive in lyrics. I'll totally steal your view. I think I might have stole that for another line in another song. But narcissist, as I say, never got off the ground. This is funny. This is Always Going North. Again, this is where we didn't really know what we were going to be as a band. Always Going North is something that my missus always does when she's on a journey anywhere. She always thinks she's going north because the map goes north. So if you're reading the map upwards, whatever she believes, you're going north. So I thought it'd be quite a good song to do, Always Going North. Which way up, which way down, left, right. You get the general idea. Again, a bit naive. This is again when we didn't really know what kind of music we were going to be. Well, we knew what kind of music we were going to be doing, but we didn't really know what point we were going to make. Never got off the ground. Again, more ramblings of an old man. Now this is Outcast. This became a completely different song. We wrote the Outcast as a song. I think there's a video of it somewhere, practicing in the director's kitchen. There were certain lines I just couldn't get in tune, no matter how hard I tried. But again, this was before we knew what we were doing, and it does not play well with others. Always seeks to lie and deceive. Always on the hunt for trouble. And you can get the general idea that Outcast, I think I've actually got a typed version of it somewhere where it's actually a full song, and then we decided that we're so much more than that. So Outcast got swapped. Can't remember what it became, but I'm sure when I'm interviewing the educator, I think that's going to be next week or the week after, so watch out for that. When I'm interviewing the educator, I'm sure he'll be able to tell me what he turned it into. My memory is not as good as it used to be. Okay, so now we've got Get to the Bar. These are the lyrics of Get to the Bar. And again, I think I mentioned on previous streams we were going to be the band in the pub, the punk band in the pub that just sang about the people in the pub. Didn't want to alienate anybody, but with a little bit of humour attached to it. And I won't mention the names, but it's him are never first to the bar. Pete's always first, most honourable by far. Mark goes the most, generous to a T, always buy around, and then it goes back to who are most reluctant to go to the bar. So that was going to be a little bit of fun. Whose round is it? Yeah, him and him don't go to the bar, and it's just a little bit of fun. Yeah, so again, I must have been away because it's on... must have been at a conference because it's on holiday in writing paper. Must have been trying to think where that would have been. We always used to sing Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones as an opening track. That was for two reasons. Number one was to say we can play punk rock. Here's a punk rock song everybody knows. And that was to kind of two things. First of all, to set the scene, to say we know what we're doing live, which I still think we smashed that out the bar, to be fair. Nowhere near as fast as the Ramones, though, to be quite honest. And then that kind of set the tone of any live performance. So we keep that up there, and if we run out of tracks and someone's asking for an encore, we can always play it. So it serves two purposes, really. What's kind of the most depressing thing about Blitzkrieg Bop is obviously it's Hey Ho, Let's Go, and we changed it to A-O, Let's Go for Articulate Outburst. A-O, Let's Go. So a bit of a naive play on words there, but I kind of get away with it. And then when I was listening to the Ramones version some months later, the missus was absolutely gutted because she thought that was our song. She went, that's your best song. So talk about being cut down at the bloody knee by those nearest and dearest to you. Cut down at the knee, indeed I was. More get to the bar lyrics. Right, okay, so we've now got, let's look at this. We've now got some lyrics to Straight White Male. Eee. So we can see immediately, these are not in any particular order, I think I've just stuck them in this file in random. Straight white male, who cares what I say? And there's quite a lot of crossings out. Purchases, feelings. Nobody cares what I say, no one listens anyway. Words and feelings, that's what was crossed out. Meaningless count, and I put words and dealings, I don't count, that got dropped. Don't know why, can't remember, probably better lyrics overtook it. Silent free fall and talk to the wall were all there. The straight white, just a straight white male, and that's all there. Like the editing in red, that's not because it means anything like in red. I'll just run out of pens, and that's the only thing that I'll have had there. Political view, cast in stone, that got dropped. Pigeonholed. And then there's some words for something else here. So it's community sign, isolated, community safety, overrated. So that might have been the start of communities. Human beings, we all are. Human bones gets us far. Political views. Can't read the scribble. Political bias, what's the catch? Hot topics, yesterday's. And then just some, well, I'll agree with the missus here, ramblings of an old man. And with all these genders, do I even exist in red? So I think we're mixing that up a bit. More straight white male here. You cannot hear me, I don't count, my words and feelings, meaningless shout. Well, meaningless shout's still in there, but I don't count got dropped. Who gives two fucks what I say? Apologies, YouTube, for the language. But that's a quote from a song. Apologies. I'll be getting a strike for that. I am gagged, nobody cares. And just a load of rambling. But yeah, so straight white male, there we go. There's one here about identity. I've forgotten all about this. It's pretty much straight white male with a different title. Don't intend to read absolutely everything out, but just to go through the kind of processes that we do and the kind of things that we get into. I've now found the lyrics to Outcast. It's no secret who this was about because we told him, but I won't bore the wider world with who he is. I think he gets married sometime this year. And it does not play well with others, only seeks to lie and deceive. Always on the hunt for trouble, we all know that this is his disease. What can be done about him? Probably best just left alone. If we tried to help him, he just hangs up the phone. And it's quite a good song, actually. A bit personal. I guess that's why we didn't do it in the end. But yeah, again, I suppose it could come back from the dead. So what else have I got here? All these bits here, interestingly enough, are the lockdown quizzes that we play on a Monday. So Only Connect, Mastermind, and University Challenge. This is definitely lockdown time because every time I see this, it's pretty much what we were doing all the time. Now then, there's a lyric on here which is in the second album, Eco Terrorists, and it's what would happen with an impure thought. Putting it out there gets you caught. What if we all know it's a lie? What if this world's not going to die? And that's the opening lines to Eco Terrorist. That's on the second album. Yeah, the rest of the lyrics are here as well, but I don't want to ruin that because we'll cover that while we're on one of the streams that does the song in its entirety. I don't want to get there ahead of time, but it's just nice to see a little bit of memories of the COVID lockdown, if you like. Lost Boys and Girls. This is a homage to Nicki Minaj, believe it or not. Again, another casualty of lockdown, with her getting kicked off Twitter for something she said to somebody else. I'll come to that another time. That song's just about getting ready to be finished. Yeah, and that's the lyrics to Repeat Offender. Obviously the green pen means I wrote that at the educator's house, because that's the pen that he uses. Sticks and Stones, originally titled Hate Speech, oddly enough. Again, all for the annals of history. There's Gammon, with completely different lyrics to the ones we ended up with, most amusing. Outcast, originally I wanted a military band music to start it off. Don't know where that came from. It never got anywhere, but food for thought. Might be pretty good on another album, on another song. Okay, well, I think I'm about a third of the way through the file. I think I've taken up enough of your time. I don't like these videos to run on too long, but you get a flavour of what we're all about there, how the kind of, what you've asked for is how we kind of got things going, what the kind of processes were to kind of create these songs. And obviously the album is an entire work. It's not just one song or two songs or three songs. It's got to be taken its entirety, with each song being an unsafe space, like a patchwork quilt of 2021, 22, 23 all together. So I'll leave it there for now. I'll keep my place in the old file, and I'll see you in the next one. But thanks again. Thanks for all the emails. It's much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.